Gotta hit it. So in this video, I'm just going over a quick rundown of some concealed carry options, you could call it. I got 5 guns I took out to the range. And basically what I did was did the same drill with all 5 guns, more or less, right? It's just kind of like a concealed carry practice kind of day. They're all basically the same gun. The big variation was the single stack and then the double stack, you know. So the first gun we had out there that you saw in the little clip was I was shooting the Glock 43. It had some modifications done to it, nothing crazy. Then the Smith & Wesson Shield, the single stack 9mm. That's the first generation one, not the second generation. And then we went to the double stack options, which was a Glock 19 with RMR on it, and then the SIG 320 in the carry size, which is same size as the Glock 19, and then a Glock 19 without an RMR on it, just regular old Glock. All these guns have slight modifications. I don't want to say they're like heavily modified or anything. They're not race guns or anything, but you know, it's they're guns I've made to where I like them, right? Or, you know, however I find that they function better. So like on the single stacks, the big shortcoming is going to be capacity, right? So what do? You get some extended magazines and you get a +2 on your magazine. It gives you something to get a good hold of, so your pinky's not floating off. Those are little additions that you could do to make your concealed carry a little bit more shooter friendly. But I think you see it in the video that there's not a huge difference in shootability between the single stacks and the double stacks. Of course, you're going to run out of ammo faster, but you see me kind of maybe fumble around a little bit more so with a single stack on a reload. I think I got a couple reloads in there. It took a little bit more to get the reload complete. Right, it's just it's a smaller gun, so it's a little tougher to get the magazine in the gun and then manipulate it. The double stacks, that's what I shoot mostly, and I had not as much trouble with it. I don't think either one causes trouble per se, but I think the bigger gun, it's going to be easier to shoot. It just is. The trade-off, as you very well know, is going to be concealability. Also what I did was I did 2 different carry options. I'm playing with the idea of going for appendix carry or versus the 3 o'clock, because I've been carrying 3 o'clock for many years now, and that's just what I'm comfortable doing. But I'm thinking I might want to, I don't know, get with the times and go appendix, but going out to the range and shooting from appendix, I didn't feel very comfortable with it. Maybe it's something I can train around or something like that. Every time I drew from appendix, whether it's the single stack or the double stack, I found myself having a hard time getting the good grip on the gun before I pull it out of the holster, right? It was a little tougher with the smaller gun, obviously. The 3 o'clock, it's really easy to get a good purchase on that gun. A really good grip, and then you draw the gun out, and then you engage. Maybe it's because I've been doing it that way for so long. I don't know. Something I'm going to have to play with in the future. Another thing I'm playing with is I'm slowly getting ready to make the transition to where I'm carrying on my EDC a RMR, and it's a training thing. So you've heard a lot of people talking about how it's a little bit of a thing to get used to finding the dot on the red dot on the RMR. I think I'm to the point where I'm pretty comfortable with it, but the shot clock is telling me otherwise. I do take 1.75 on the Glock 19 without the RMR. With the RMR, I'm right at about 2 seconds. And that's the only difference is that, you know, it's finding the dot. So I feel comfortable, but the clock is telling me otherwise. So I don't know if I'm quite there yet for carrying it for EDC purposes. Now, shooting it on the range with the belt on and all that stuff, I love shooting the red dot. Another thing you'll find out with the shot timer is your follow-ups are going to be drastically quicker right out the gate. There's like nothing to get used to. Your follow-ups are going to be fast. There's no doubt about that. And your accuracy further out, way better. Way, way, way better. It's, I don't want to say it's not a problem to hit 100 yards with on the steel with red dot, but it's not much of a problem, if anything. So some things about the holsters I was using. I don't want to get into holsters necessarily in this video. That's something I'll probably tackle down the line, which is definitely holsters. It's a thing. It's I would call it a trial and error at best. I will say that this is a holster I had for many, many years. It's for the 320. Very good, still very good. It's ready to go. But what I like about it is these loops. They do not come undone. This is your other variety of retention to your belt, and that's these clips. I'm not much of a fan because it wouldn't be the first time where I've drawn the gun and presented it with a holster because it didn't do its job and keep the holster to my belt. So I'm not sold on these. This is not something I personally would carry every day, these clips. I haven't played with the Alti clip. I've seen them, but this right here, for me, that's a no-go. Holsters, like I said, I'll do another video about that, but you can do something like this. You can do appendix or on the side. This is the one from T-Rex. It's the, I think it's called the Nomad. They don't even sell it anymore, and I actually don't know why. I'm gonna actually investigate what's going on with that because I'm curious to why they're not selling this anymore. I got it just because I wanted to start practicing with the RMR. So some aftermarket parts, like I said, mag wells, those are great. Not necessary, but they are great. The shield even comes with one magazine extended, one flush. I think it's the same thing with the Glock 43. You're seeing that with a lot of other guns. The Glock 19, you've got infinite magazine options, and I think the 320 is getting there also with base plates. You can play with that. If I'd say one thing about magazine extensions, stay away from the competition types. Know the difference. There's a big difference with the competition type extensions versus your tactical type EDC type extensions, all right? They serve two different purposes. They will both work, but they're intended for two different things. With the Glock 43, it had a really, really nice agency arms flat face trigger on there, and that's the first time I've actually shot an agency arms one out of a Glock, and that thing was amazing. I'm so blown away at how nice that trigger was. The other guns, no, excuse me, the Smith & Wesson was also an aftermarket trigger. So I guess for me, the takeaway was I'm getting a little bit of practice in with concealed carry, which is important to do if you're doing it. I mean, you got to get out there and really practice if you're doing EDC, not just with the full setup with the belts and running these big complex drills. Just do a quick draw, engage, maybe a little movement in there. And that's some really good EDC practice, because I think the gun doesn't matter so much. It really doesn't. I believe for the most part, I was running these guns fairly efficiently. And that's why I did one drill pretty much. So I don't think there's much variation in how I was running these drills. There wasn't much variation in the times or anything like that. So I think the big takeaway is that practice is going to give you the confidence when you're concealed carrying, okay? Whether you carry 3 o'clock appendix, I don't think that matters. Whether you're carrying a single stack or a double stack, I don't think that matters. I don't care about the brand. I don't care about a lot of things. What I do care about is a striker fired polymer pistol with no safety, no extra buttons, no extra nothing. I need that thing to be ready to do its job if I need it to do what it's intended to do, right? So I'm gonna practice with it, and that was the whole intention of me going out, was running appendix, 3 o'clock, single stack, double stack, to see where I'm at and if I need to make any changes for, you know, the future. So none of these things will come to light unless you get out there and practice. And this is something you're gonna have to figure out on your own. So you gotta get out there and try it. So go and get out on the range and give it a try.